This video is covering the color key for specifically the Cottage Core set. If you have the book and this particular palette, it has the woodland set with a couple of extras that come from the tropical set. So if you own both of those sets, you'd have both of these and more. Up to 6 can fit in this channel here, but I've sold this set with these 3, so I wanted to show you how to make this key so that you can create your cottage motifs, because I've done the videos in either woodlands or tropicals and they'll all mix to very similar to what I showed you in the companion videos. So for instance, this beautiful book bouquet, it has a woodland set here, but then we have some pops of color, and that's why I've added these tropicals here of hibiscus, sunset, and this reef. Otherwise, these colors, although I may have painted this from the tropical set, they're all able to be created out of this woodlands plus these extras. And we've got this beautiful bouquet, has these bright colors in it, and you can create this desk look, and it's a lot of fun if you can use a reef here with a pop of bright purple that's not really available in the woodland set. So let me show you how to do this. So I've got the set. If you had this from any of your other palettes and mix them, then you've already got them ready to go. And I have these extras here at the end. So this is how I created this. I'm going to come in here, like sunset for instance, and right out of my box I'm making a rectangle here with a lot of that pigment to the side, clearing my brush and adding a little bit of clear water right next to it, and then letting that touch there so that you can see what a nice faded pink they can make when it has less of the minerals in it, more water, and paper showing through. So that's how you create this box. You'll write down here sunset, because that's exactly what you have in your box. Each of these represents the main color in your palette, and then each one is taking this color, clear our brush, and mix it with something else. Here we have hibiscus, which is this orange. So now we're just kind of making a corally color. I've got another strip right now that I'm using to help me decide what intensity I want. I think the rule of thumb is 2/3 of this color here, which is our main color, and 1/3 of the whatever I'm mixing. That way I stay true to pinks, adding just a little bit of something else in there. And then if you want to do a watered down version underneath there so you can see what this color looks like in its faded form. I didn't do that here, but you could. So you can still write that underneath here, or you can do multiple layers as long as you can fit your handwriting in there. So you can keep track of what you've created. So in this case then, we would take a little bit of this sunset and add reef to it, which is a very intense color, by the way. So we're just adding a little bit of that reef there, and it makes a nice little pinky purple. And then again, if you wanted to add a little bit of clear water underneath there to get that, you can do that as well. And then this came from my tropical set, so I had a pineapple, which was a yellowy color, and I'll add a little bit more pink there with this daylight is a little bit different, and that's pretty close there. So a yellow with sunset makes this nice coral color, but a different shade than I've got over there. And then now I've got ocean, which is a blue, and I think comparable to that would be this stream right here. I'm marrying these two sets, and it's got more of a raspberry, adding that blue, or even kind of an indigo here. Just that's sunset and any of these blues. Each having a little bit of a different tone to them. And before that dries too much, I'll come in here and kind of get that wet version. So you can then pick a few colors in here that you like. I suggest you try them over here first and see if those are ones you think you would use in your set. You've got the back sides. Any of them can be flipped over and used on the other side. So you've got double the amount. You just have to wait for them to dry before you stack them, or that you paint them on the back side, or they will transfer. So that's how you'd make those. You just thread that ribbon through, and now you've got this color key just so that you can look through your motifs and decide, for instance, here with the greens. Okay, so here we've got our deep moss that's a green, and you can see we've used different colors of greens here, so we can pick the ones we like in our tree, which I chose more of a darker hunter green and then a brighter green for this, like the lavender down here. And you can go through and pick the different flower colors that you would like and mix those up ahead of time. You can also use a separate palette, like any ceramic dish or plate that you have. You can just rinse it off with water and you're good to go as far as an extra palette beside what you have here. I hope you enjoy your color keys and it will really help you take your creativity to the next level.